Hey, I am Dalton Mills. I am a sophomore accounting major, and I am a PDF. And I guess to give you a few other things about me, so you know, I am in ROTC, I am the CUSG Sustainability Director, and I am the Spirit Director for Central Spirit. And so that's a quick introduction of myself. And this is about why I chose to be a dialogue facilitator, what's been great about my experience. Um, and so first off, one of the reasons I chose to be a facilitator was I really enjoyed my dialogue. And then beyond that, I enjoy the idea of making a positive change on campus, having an effect on the way people, with the way students at Clemson see social justice and how it's progressing, where we're going, and just being a part of that movement. And then beyond that is just a lot of intellectual engagement. Being able to sit in on dialogues that I've put a lot of effort into, being able uh, to see what other students' perspectives are on something that I've put a lot of thought into is fantastic for me. So for that aspect, it's a great experience. And that's why I chose to do it. So to go more into the experience, your first semester is you take a class, and it's creative inquiry, and the class your first semester is going to be, you're going to have a group of other peer dialogue facilitators, and in that class you will meet them at first, and then you'll really get to know them on a deeper level. And then, also whoever is teaching that class, in my case, it's Becky Morgan, and you have a great, you build a great relationship with your instructor as well. And then also there are others facilitating. Again, in my case, that's Rachel Klein. Um, and that was a great experience as well, and she's a grad student, so we got to make those connections with our fellow PDFs and then also our instructors, um, and just getting to learn from each other and getting to know my fellow PDFs was a fantastic experience. Anytime I see any of them on campus, I'm very excited to see them because we're very close. We've all shared a lot of experiences together, and we know a lot about each other. And those personal experiences and all that knowledge we gained over time has created really great friendships, not just working relationships or a classroom relationship. So that was great. And the class is fantastic because of the sharing and the engagement we get to have, the engagement you would have if you participate. And it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to go to a class where most of that class is discussion. Most of that class is learning your own personal feelings and how you can display those, learning about how you can make change, and discussing how you would make that change, those kind of things. It's a fantastic class. So, though you don't start out doing dialogues, that class, which would be in your spring semester, is a fantastic experience where you get to learn about others and you learn a lot about yourself. So it's also great for leadership. There's a lot you can learn there. So it's great for progressing your skills as a leader. So it's certainly something to look at for that aspect as well. And then so that's kind of your first semester experience, and then following your first semester is going to be what happens in your actual dialogues. And that's a whole nother experience, of course. You still have the class that you had the first semester, but now in addition to the class, you have your dialogues, which amount to 4 hours a week. And and that's just dialogue time. Of course, there's preparation and other things, but generally once you get it down, that doesn't take too long. And so with that, during the experience, from the dialogue, in the dialogue from the facilitator's perspective, it's a little bit different. You get to feel like you feel like you're a part of that room, but then also you know how much work you've put into it. So you feel you're a little more invested than just your a student who has just selected something out of a list of these dialogues that they're required to go to. Um, so with that investment, you're more engaged, of course, and it helps you really experience that dialogue from a different perspective. It can be extremely moving from either side, and it's just great to see it from that second perspective, that perspective of all the work we put in, where I generally have an idea of like what I would like to see in the dialogue. So it's interesting also to see where it goes when it's going somewhere I didn't really expect. When it's going to another direction, I thought, wow, I didn't think of that. And it can still be a great experience. And that's a really cool thing. You learn a lot about how your perspective may not necessarily be right just because of things you didn't think of. And there's always things you didn't think of, so it's great to see that evolution of a dialogue as well, where a certain dialogue goes. Every dialogue's different, so it's not an experience where, say, if you're a professor and you taught the same class every day, it's not that. It's the same dialogue topic, but every dialogue's different. So with the variety, it doesn't, I don't feel like I'm going to the same thing every week. I feel like I'm going to something totally different. Though we may have the same outline for our dialogues, the dialogue is completely different every time. There's different people, different experiences, and there's a different dialogue with that. So, it's not a monotonous same thing every week, same thing every day. It's always different. It's always changing, and that's another great thing about it. So, you don't really have to worry about this is just going to be the same thing every day. It's not. And so that's another great thing. Just meeting all the people you meet in the dialogues, getting to hear other people's experiences, it really helps you as a facilitator grow. Um, so this can be a great year of growth for anyone, and that's another fantastic experience. I'm obviously not finished with this year, so as this year continues to go on, I look forward to continuing to grow and continuing to adapt my experiences and understand others' experiences and be able to fit those into my life and how every day changes. And it's great for that as well. It's been a fantastic experience overall. I would highly suggest anyone who is interested certainly applying and certainly interviewing. Even if you decide, I don't have enough time, or um, I don't know if this is right for me, I would tell you to consider going through the process and meeting some of the people who are in charge uh, of everything, and just understanding, maybe talking to some PDFs. If you see me around, talk to me. But it's a great experience, so I highly suggest to anyone. I look forward to continuing on with my process and continuing to be here and seeing how I grow and move forward, and I look forward to seeing how the new group of PDFs moves through and performs and grows as well.